Hello everybody and welcome back to Bloomington. I'm your host Drew Frey here in the IU Tennis Show. And now if you follow IU athletics at all, you probably know that the big story among any athletic team, whether that's tennis, field hockey, volleyball, or of course basketball, is any time that Indiana plays Purdue. Well, the men's tennis team was just in West Lafayette for that matchup. Take a look at how the results went. Now the Boilermakers didn't make it particularly easy, but Indiana left West Lafayette with the W, ultimately dropping just one match on the way. IU earned its first road win in part through strong doubles play, led by IU's ranked duo of Crane and Brodny. Brodny also picked up a 3-set singles win, and you remember how Bennett Crane said he'd never lost to top 20 opponent Athol Bennett? Well, this one was about as close as could be, but Crane pulled out a tight second-set tiebreaker and was up a break in the third set before the match was clinched and ultimately abandoned. But if that match had continued, it likely would have been another strong win for Crane's resume. So the men's team got to return to Bloomington happy after picking up that win over their rival. Meanwhile, the women's team, they were already here. The women hosted Cincinnati and Ball State in a Sunday doubleheader. Take a look at the recap. The IU women's tennis team battled in their two weekend matches, but looking at the scoreboard, you'd never know.
We fought tooth and nail for every match that we earned today. I think it was a lot closer than it seemed, but it was good to win some close matches.
In another non-conference doubleheader just before the start of Big Ten play, the Hoosiers powered through two more wins in a performance Coach Asqui said emphasized their word of the week:
relentless. And we wanted the team to compete, to focus in a relentless way. We wanted them to be able to really come from the very beginning to the very end, to be able to show that toughness. And I think, compliments to the players, I think they did that.
In fact, every player showed their toughness when given the chance. The Hoosiers went an undefeated 9-0 in singles play, with their only slip-up coming in doubles against Ball State.
We showed a little bit that we were not ready for that doubles point, and but kudos to them. The singles was just a different story.
Just encouraging each other and definitely coming together to win 6-1, win every singles match was awesome after being tired from the first tough match today.
Next up for the women's team, it is finally the start of conference play. That's right, the Hoosiers will go and face Northwestern in Evanston before hosting Penn State back in Bloomington on Sunday in what will be the first Big Ten matches the Hoosiers have played all season. Now, there are tons of fresh faces on this women's team and a handful of upperclassmen too, so of course, plenty of different perspectives on what the Big Ten means and what it will bring for the Hoosiers.
We have an opportunity with so many new players on our team to really make an impact in the Big Ten, which is what we're all really excited for. And when it's conference play, it just gets more exciting, more dramatic, more competitive, which is all really exciting.
I think they're ready, and I'm excited about the opportunity to go and play a very good Northwestern team. I think Northwestern is going to be an NCAA tournament team. So I think to start with them at their place, on a Friday night. So I'm excited about that, and I think we're going to be okay. But they're going to have to believe it.
We're just looking forward to making a splash and finally putting Indiana above the middle tier of the Big Ten. It's a tough conference to play in, but I think that we're able to definitely compete. So we're all really excited to get that started on Friday.
Now for the men's team, they did just face a conference opponent this past weekend, but they've got plenty more season to go, and that includes two more non-conference opponents this upcoming weekend as they try and stretch this 3-game win streak that they're on. Now this weekend's matchups might bring back bad memories for IU, as both Drake and Dartmouth beat Indiana last season. Carson Haskins was the only Hoosier to pick up a win in either of those matches, but things could be looking up for IU this go-around. Drake is just 3-12 on the season, with losses against every Power 5 team they've faced. Dartmouth could be tougher, as they've started the year on a 9-match win streak, but they have lost their last 2 coming into Bloomington. So right now we're sort of in this weird stretch, a back and forth between playing some Big Ten opponents and some non-conference opponents as well. So I figured now's as good of a time as ever to take a step back and look at where some of these Big Ten teams are in the national rankings and what to expect out of some of IU's future opponents. All right, so let's start with the men's rankings first because, wait a minute, do I spy Indiana on this list? Yes, I do. The men's team just scrapes in at number 49, making them the 7th Big Ten team in the rankings. Former number 1 Texas currently slots at number 4. Remember, they beat IU earlier in the season. Indiana's schedule will start to pick up in mid to late March as the Hoosiers have matchups with Northwestern, Arizona, and Illinois coming up. Now onto the women's side of things, IU's 8-4 record wasn't rewarded with a ranking. That's likely due to their lack of upper-tier wins, but that's not the case for Ohio State, as all 10 of their matches so far have been against ranked opponents, making them the Big Ten's top team. IU almost pulled out a win against number 35 Yale a couple of weeks ago, but look out ahead as the women face number 15 Notre Dame next week. Of course, the Hoosiers' next battle will be against Northwestern, who currently sits just outside the top 40.
And with that, I'll wrap up the IU Tennis Show for this week, but thank you so much for following along. Make sure you continue to follow because there is so much season left to go, and I will be here through all of it. I'm your host, Drew Frey. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.